This is a painting by Heywood Hardy, a British artist who lived from 1843 to 1933. It used to hang in my grandparents' house until my grandfather died in 1990. I once got into a whole lot of trouble as a child shortly after they had positioned this painting over a living room sofa. I climbed up on the sofa to inspect it very carefully. My idea was, I was about 5 or 6, I think, at the time. My idea was that it might be my family, my father as the man in stocks, and my mother and my brother and me and our dog Rip. I knew it wasn't our family because, after all, in the painting, the boy is older than the girl, and in real life I was older than my brother. And I knew that the time frame was wrong, but it was rather interesting to me, the painting, despite the macabre subject matter. Heywood Hardy primarily was famous for painting dogs and horses. The only thing about this painting that would excite collectors of his is that I can't find it listed amongst his paintings, but he was pretty prolific, and this isn't one of his dog pictures, other than the fact that there's a little dog in it. Up close next to the man in stocks, there is a little inscription on the wall that says, I don't know if I can get it, but it says, "The Old Bedel." And a beadle is someone who disperses charity for a church. And I guess that's a church entryway or a cemetery entryway in the background. And I wonder if it's an actual place that someone can identify, or if the story that's being told here of a family looking at this man, whether it's the father or whatever, I wonder if there is an actual newspaper story that could be found on which this is based, or if it's just maybe a moral tale of maybe a man who was supposed to disperse charitable funds for a church organization, having perhaps embezzled those funds or misused the charity in some way. The painting, as I said, used to hang in my grandparents' house, and now it's in my living room. It looks not too bad over the fireplace. There's a little rip in it, which apparently came about because the way I got the painting was that it kind of disappeared. I didn't know where it was from after my grandfather died. My mom and her sister had divided up the stuff in the house, and this painting ended up, I guess, in my aunt's house in the basement. And one time I was visiting my aunt, and I looked behind a sheet there, and there was this painting. And I had rather fond memories of the painting. My aunt said she couldn't stand it. The subject matter was so miserable. And so I asked her if I could borrow the painting, and she said yes, and I promised her that I would make sure that someday it would get to one of her grandchildren. I've always been fond of the painting because somehow it made me think, well, someone could actually put my father in stocks, and that would have been very satisfying to me. So that will lead to some more in this story in a while.